Most people tend to be naturally curious about what happens to them when they die, but it's also important to know the physiological side. I sat down with Dr. Moses at his family practice in Huntington, West Virginia, for his perspective on death.
Well, the death is defined easily when there's no brain function. Okay, the sort of the simple rule is when there's no brain function. They actually do brain scans, specifically looking for brain function. So if we do a scan and there's no brain activity, you're legally dead. What do we look for? We look for heart, respirations, and neurological. The other thing is other neurological things. We look at light reflex to the pupils. You're shining a light to see if there's a reflex. If there's typically, it's wide open. You hit the light, cringes down to a small pupil. Let it go, it gets big again. And so you're looking for that reflex, and if that reflex is nothing there, and I've seen plenty of those, and when they're not moving, they're dead.
The essential difference between clinical death and biological death is brain function. People have come back from clinical death due to enough oxygen to the brain. Oxygen deprivation to the brain can cause permanent damage or death.
When I was a resident, we call those code blues. When a patient, stops, heart stops, respiration stop, we call it code blue, which is a emergency. And we have teams that run to it. Doctors are there, nurses, respiratory therapists, anesthesiology. We have everybody involved, to kind of get them back. We'll see what we can do. If we've gotten to that point, they have died, and then now we're bringing them back. So people will say, I died and I came back. That's kind of what they're referring to.
Speculation on near-death experiences and the afterlife have become important all over the globe. I asked Dr. Moses for his thoughts on the matter.
Well, I guess it depends on if you're a believer or not. I think that probably makes the biggest role. Because I think if you believe that there is a life after, if you believe in God, I think, and you have hope for a future, I think then there's stories of life afterwards, and you tend to believe it to be one thing. I think if you are an atheist or a non-believer, I think there's what you believe is different, because we come up with excuses. Same way with when we have cures for things, we diagnose a cancer and suddenly the cancer's gone. The non-believer aspect of medicine would say, oh, we must have scanned the wrong patient, versus the believer side would be, the patient was healed, Have I seen it? Yes. Have I seen healing? Yes. Do I believe it was God healing? I do. I think it happens. It happens every day. I don't know how we can be in medicine and not believe in God. It's just what I believe.
Reporting for WVSU Newsline, I'm Max Wallace.